Picture on my mirror. Start to blush when somebody says your name. In my stomach there's a pain. You walk in my direction, I go the other way. I start to stutter when I speak. Try to stand but my knees go weak. What's happening to me? In the dark, can you tell me what it means?
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Kaylin. Hubby is here too. We are in DC for our anniversary weekend, and you know I'm gonna hit up the DC bookstores because we don't have any by us. So we are on our way. We're walking. Yeah, but it's not like a big one. So we are on our way to Kramers, which is one of the bookstores in DC. There's a couple that I wanted to check out, but we'll probably just get to two because obviously we're doing anniversary things as well. But we're walking. It's a little nippy out here, if I'm being quite honest with you. But we Ubered to where we went to eat, and now we're just walking back. It's like a 27 minute walk. We have 15 minutes to get there.
Not that bad though.
So going to Kramers. It's like a cafe and bookstore. I've seen it a lot on TikTok, so we're gonna see what it is hitting for. Okay, so I just wanted to bring you guys with me, and I'll record when we get in there. So let's go. Alright y'all, it is Sunday and we are going to the African American Museum. He's shy, y'all. We working on his YouTube. He's talking about he want to have a YouTube channel. Honey,
No, I gotta start one.
Yeah, but you gotta talk. So we're going to the African American Museum, and then we'll be heading back to our babe. He don't speak much. He's shy.
I done fell for your way, baby. I know, girl, but and I know from the first time I seen your love, you got me, baby. Even though, girl, I know that I would fall for you, you got to know that everyone falls. Oops, I done fell so deep, baby. Oops, I want you for me, baby. Oops, I want you for me, baby. Oops, I done fell so deep, cause everyone falls in love sometimes. I don't know about you, but it ain't a crime.
guys, so we are back home and I have a whole bunch of books to show you guys. So after this, we're done. We're on a book buying ban because my husband was like, absolutely not. We're not gonna keep buying all these books, and I'm running out of room to put the books. So as y'all seen, we went to Kramers Bookstore in DC, we went to Solid State Books, and then we went to Busboy and Poets. We went to another used bookstore, but it was like a legit used bookstore, but like no new books or anything like that. So I didn't film in there because there's a lot of people in there. I was trying to film like as best as I could, but there were so many people in the bookstores and I was like, oh my, this is like amazing. So I wish that locally there are more bookstores around me other than like Barnes and Nobles and stuff, because it definitely would be a nice spot to meet people and talk to people who also enjoy reading as much as I do. So now I have a little hobby to do when I go travel places, and I definitely want to go back to DC because there are so many bookstores that I didn't even get to, and a lot of them were so cute. The ones that we went to had like cafes in them, so just really somewhere you can go and vibe. But we were there for our anniversary, so hubby was kind enough to let me squeeze a little bit of bookstores into our trip. So I'm gonna go over what I got from Kramers Bookstore first. So the bag actually broke, but I have this stack. I bought a total of 9 books. I did spend a good penny, but I was, you know, instead of giving Amazon all my money, like I want these bookstores to remain open and I want to support their business, so I just paid full price for these books that I obviously could have gotten from Amazon or somewhere cheaper. But I just love, like I was amazed to see inside like how beautiful it was, how many people were in there, and I want to support that. So first book I got is by Nikki Payne, who's the author of Pride and Protest. The book is called Sex, Lies, and Sensibility, and I've never heard of this author. I read the back of it and I was like, okay, let's give it a try. So there's never a good time to learn that you are your father's secret child, especially not at the reading of his will. With their father's affair laid bare and Nora's sensible reputation in tatters due to a viral video scandal, she and her free-spirited sister have nothing left but a rustic inn in the middle of nowhere and each other. What's more, they need to revamp the inn before Labor Day or they lose it all. Nora hasn't even knocked the traveling dust off last season's designer boots when she's confronted with 3 problems. 1, she really should have watched more HGTV. 2, she hasn't seen another black person for miles. And 3, a tall, dark stranger has already staked a claim on their property. I don't know how you say this. Abenaki Eco Tour Guide Ennis Bear Freeman has seen hapless tourists come and go. When he spots 2 pampered city girls at his unofficial headquarters, he expects them to catch a flight out of the inhospitable coastal Maine backwoods within a week's time. But Nora, it turns out, is made of sterner stuff, and as she rolls up her sleeves to breathe new life into the inn, she unwittingly reignites a flood of emotions inside Bear that he had very intentionally suppressed. Their connection is electric, their desire palpable, but Bear's silence about his mysterious past might turn out to be the one thing that sends Nora packing. I was just like, that sounds like a whole lot going on, and like, I want to know. So 2 sisters roll up their sleeves to run a dilapidated inn, but must learn to work with the locals in this deliciously spicy novel inspired by sense and sensibility. So excited for this one. Now this one, I've been on like a time travel magic kind of kick right now. So this book is by Emma Straub. It's called This Time Tomorrow. I've never heard of this, never seen it. It's a father-daughter story full of humor and heart about love, death, and time travel. So on the eve of her 40th birthday, Alice's life isn't terrible. She likes her job even if it isn't exactly the one she expected. She's happy with her apartment, her romantic status, and her independence, and she adores her lifelong best friend. But her father is ailing and it feels to her as if something is missing. When she wakes up the next morning, she finds herself back in 1996 reliving her 16th birthday. But it isn't just her adolescent body that shocks her or seeing her high school crush. It's her dad, the vital, charming 40-something version of her father with whom she is reunited. Now armed with a new perspective on her own life and his, some past events take on a new meaning. Is there anything that she would change if she could? And I just thought this is so crazy because because as an adult, you like look back on things that like you went through or like how your parents raised you, and I feel like as an adult you see it so much differently. So I am so interested to see like what it is that she goes back and realizes, like now that she was an adult, went through struggles, like has been doing life, and now she's going back to a 16-year-old. And I just want to see how she's going to see her dad, like what the new level of understanding and like the thoughts are. So that was just like a real life thing. Like that would be pretty cool to do. So I'm excited. This one's gonna be high up on my list because like I said, I'm in a real time travel kind of mood. So this will be up there. I feel like I mentioned in my last video, I really like mental health, psychology. That's my thing. I don't know if I mentioned that I wanted to be a psych nurse before, but I don't know if I told you guys. I also have a minor in psychology, so that is my passion for psychology right there. So I picked up some books. One is actually for my husband, and then the other two, one he wants to read as well, and then the other one is for me. So I'm gonna go through the one that I got for him. So it's by Malcolm Gladwell, called Talking to Strangers: What We Should Know About the People We Don't Know. And he wanted this, so I was like, yeah, I'll get it for you. So how did Fidel Castro fool the CIA for a generation? Why did Neville Chamberlain think he could trust Adolf Hitler? Why are campus sexual assaults on the rise? Do television sitcoms teach us something about the way we relate to one another that isn't true? Talking to Strangers is a challenging and controversial excursion through history, psychology, and scandals taken straight from the news. In it, Malcolm Gladwell revisits the deceptions of Bernie Madoff, the suicide of Sylvia Plath, and the death of Sandra Bland, throwing our understanding of these and other stories into doubt. Something is very wrong, Gladwell argues, with the tools and strategies we use to make sense of people we don't know, and the resulting conflict and misunderstanding have a profound effect on our lives and our world. Now, with Talking to Strangers, Malcolm Gladwell brings us a gripping guidebook for troubled times. So that just seems like very interesting. So I'm interested to see his thoughts on that. The next book I got that we both wanted to read is Surrounded by Idiots by Thomas Erickson. It's the 4 types of human behavior and how to effectively communicate with each in business and in life. With more than 2 million copies sold worldwide, Surrounded by Idiots shares a simple, revolutionary method of understanding the people around you that will change how you interact with everyone, from your coworkers to your spouse. Author Thomas Erickson explains that there are 4 key behavior types that define how we interact with and perceive others. Understanding someone's pattern of behavior is the key to successful communication. The so-called idiots in our lives are often simply people who have a different behavior profile and style of communication. Reds, dominant and commanding. Yellows, social and optimistic. Greens, laid back and friendly. Blues, analytical and precise. Erickson explains how to identify and interact with each type of person, and the simple 4-color system allows you to speedily identify a friend or coworker and adjust how you speak and share with them. Surrounded by Idiots is full of practical information to set you up for success in every area of your life. I am more interested of this, like learning of this book to see what category or categories I am, and also if it is accurate to the people around me and if I can implement it and it makes like communication better. So I'm interested in this one a lot. Now this one is definitely something I'm going to be getting into. This is called The Body Keeps the Score: Brain, Mind, and Body in the Healing of Trauma by Bessel van der Kolk. So I actually seen this, I want to say on Khalila's page on Instagram or her YouTube. I want to say I saw it from her, and then I saw it in this store and I was like, I have to get this. So I actually had a traumatic experience with my birth, giving birth to my daughter. She came at 33 weeks. I had HELLP syndrome. That was a very traumatic just whole situation. So I am interested in this book to understanding more about how that life event impacted me, because I already know how it did, like mentally and everything like that, but I want to know more about trauma and the effects of the body. That is why I got this book. Trauma is a fact of life. Veterans and their families deal with the painful aftermath of combat. 1 in 5 Americans has been molested. 1 in 4 grew up with alcoholics. 1 in 3 couples have engaged in physical violence. Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, one of the world's foremost experts on trauma, has spent over 3 decades working with survivors. In The Body Keeps the Score, he uses recent scientific advances to show how trauma literally reshapes both body and brain, compromising sufferers' capacity capacities for pleasure, engagement, self-control, and trust. He explores innovative treatments from neurofeedback and meditation to sports, drama, and yoga that offer new paths to recovery by activating the brain's natural neuroplasticity. Based on Dr. Vanderkolk's own research and that of other leading specialists, The Body Keeps the Score exposes the tremendous power of our relationships both to hurt and to heal, and offers new hope for reclaiming lives. This, I am just so interested that I probably will be starting this like now. Can't wait. If you've read this, let me know. But I also, just with my like career, am interested in trauma and the way that it affects everything about a person. So this is definitely high up on my TBR. Next we have Solid State Books. I got 2 from here. I really try my best to get books that I haven't already heard of, and I think I did pretty good. So I got 2 books. The first one I got is a romance, so it's Getting His Game Back by Gia de Cadenet. This cover was really cute. I like covers like this. I don't know if this book is written in both perspectives or just the male's perspective. I was trying to see if like the chapters say it, but I don't know. So Khalil Sarda went through a rough patch last year, but now he's nearly back to his old self. All he has to do is keep his stuff in the past. Real men don't have depression and go to therapy, or at least they don't admit it. He's ready to focus on his growing chain of barbershops, taking care of his beloved Detroit community, and getting back to being the ladies' man his family and friends tease him for being. It all looks easy until Vanessa throws him completely off his game. Vanessa Noble is too busy building a multi-million-dollar tech career as a black woman before age 30 to be distracted by a relationship. Not to mention she's been burned before, still dealing with the lingering hurt of a past breakup. Besides, as her friends often remind her, she'll never find a man who checks all the boxes on her famous list. Yet, when she desperately needs a shape-up and happens upon one of Khalil's barbershops, The Fade, he makes her reconsider everything. Khalil is charming, intelligent, and sexy, and definitely seems like he'd treat a woman right, but he's not black. Vanessa may be willing to take a chance on Khalil, but a part of him is frustratingly closed off, just out of her reach. Will old patterns emerge to keep them apart, or have they both finally found a connection worth throwing away the playbook for? So I like this because it kind of seems like you're going to hear from his point of view, and there's also the mental health included in this, interracial dating included in this. So this was different. I don't have any book that is like it, so I wanted to go ahead and get it and add it to my TBR. So next we have Legacy by Uche Blackstock. It's a black physician reckons with racism in medicine. So obviously, you guys, I'm a nurse. I am interested in this subject, and I was like, wow, this sounds amazing. So, the rousing, captivating story of a black physician, her career in medicine, and the deep inequities that still exist in the U.S. healthcare system. So, growing up in Brooklyn, New York, it never occurred to Uche and her twin sister Oni that they would be anything but physicians. In the 1980s, their mother headed an organization of black women physicians, and for years the girls watched these fiercely intelligent women in white coats tend to their patients and neighbors, host community health fairs, cure ills, and save lives. What Dr. Uche did not understand as a child or learn about at Harvard Medical School, where she and her sister had followed in their mother's footsteps, making them the first black mother-daughter legacies from the school, were the profound and long-standing systemic inequities that mean just 2% of all U.S. physicians today are black women. The racist practices and policies that ensure black Americans have far worse health outcomes than any other group in the country, and the flawed system that endangered the well-being of communities like theirs. As an ER physician and later as a professor in academic medicine, Dr. Blackstock became profoundly aware of the systemic barriers that black patients and physicians continue to face. Legacy is a journey through the critical intersection of racism in healthcare. At once a searing indictment of our healthcare system, a generational family memoir, and a call to action, Legacy is Dr. Blackstock's odyssey from child to medical student to practicing physician, to finally seizing her own power as a health equity advocate against the backdrop of the pandemic and the Black Lives Matter movement. So I just thought that would be interesting. I've never read a book that had anything to do with medicine or the inequities, and as I work in healthcare, I can see it across all cultures actually. So I'm interested to see and read about everything that Uche talks about in here. I have a nice variety of books on my TBR, and I'm very excited for that. Last 2 books were from Busboys and Poets Books. I picked this one because of the cover. Are you kidding me? I had to pick it up. So this is People Person by Candace Carty Williams. Never read anything by her, never heard about her. So cover and that I never heard about her, that's why I picked it up. The author of Queenie, a brazenly hilarious tell it like it is first novel from Oprah Daily, named Book of the Year by the British Book Awards, returns with another witty and insightful novel about the power of family even when they seem like strangers. Dimple Pennington knows of her half-siblings, Nikisha, Danny, Lizzie, and Prince, but she doesn't really know them. They're 5 people who don't have anything in common except disappointment, faint memories of being driven through Brixton and their dad's gold Jeep, and some pretty complex abandonment issues. Besides, Dimple has bigger things to think about. She's 30 and her life isn't really going anywhere. An aspiring lifestyle influencer with a wayward boyfriend, Dimple's world has shrunk to the size of a phone screen. Despite a small but loyal following, she's never felt more alone. That is, until a dramatic event brings her half-siblings crashing back into her life. And when they're all forced to reconnect with Cyril Pennington, the absent father they never really knew, things get even more complicated. From an author with a flair for storytelling that appears effortlessly authentic, People Person is a vibrant and charming celebration of discovering family as an adult. So the top says, if you could choose your family, you wouldn't choose the Penningtons. 1 father, 4 mothers, 5 children. That just seems like a lot going on. And I'm excited. I'm excited for all these books. I just don't know when I'm gonna read them all. This is, like, I'm on a book buying ban. I can't. I have too many books that I need to read. I'm not allowed to buy any more books. So you will not be seeing, hopefully, any more hauls. I'm running out of room. So the last book I got is called Platonic by Marissa G. Franco. It is How the Science of Attachment Can Help You Make and Keep Friends. This book is inspiration because I just feel like right now, the world with social media and technology, I don't know what is going on, but I feel like it is hard for people to find and get into relationships with people, for one, and then to make friends. It feels like it's so hard to make new friends. I don't know. We're gonna figure out in this book if we can figure out how to make and keep friends, because I don't know what's going on, but it's definitely just the world today. There's so many differences that people don't go outside as much. People don't want to be as social. People aren't, well, some people do, which have like dinner parties or like want to like invite people over to the house just to hang out. Like, it just seems like people don't really do things like that anymore that are more social. Everyone's like going out or just doing things to post on social media and stuff. So understand the science of attachment to build lasting friendships and find your people in an ever more fragmented world. Loneliness is an epidemic, in part due to a culture that prioritizes romance at the expense of all other relationships. But in fact, science shows that platonic friendships are a crucial, possibly the crucial key to shaping who we are and how we can become our happiest, most fulfilled selves. So how do we make and keep friends in an era of distraction, burnout, and chaos? In Platonic, Dr. Marissa unpacks the latest, often counterintuitive findings about the bonds between us. For example, why your friends aren't texting you back. It's not because they hate you. And the myth of friendships happening organically. Making friends, like cultivating any relationship, requires effort. As Dr. Franco explains, to make and keep friends, you must understand your attachment style. Secure, anxious, or avoidant. It's the key to unlocking what's working and what's failing in your friendships. The good news, there are specific research-based ways to improve the number and quality of your connections using the insights of attachment theory and the latest scientific research on friendship. With vivid, relatable storytelling bolstered by the latest psychological research, Dr. Franco provides a clear and actionable blueprint for forging strong, lasting connections with others. In short, Platonic will give you permission to hold friendship in the highest regard because it deserves to be. I'm so excited to get into all my psychology books. Those are all the books that I got. I am sorry that this video is probably long, but I hope that you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to get into these books this year, hopefully. And if you've heard of any of these books or read any of these books, let me know what you think down below. If you like videos like this, let me know so I can keep them coming, except I'm not gonna be buying a whole bunch of books for a while, so the vlogs, I mean. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.
The reason why all the summer. Oh, yeah. When you come around, I get shy.